the first fault on your mock test was at the first junction. You were turning right and you just misjudged how much to steer. You should have steered a full lock, full range from the beginning. Then here, once you realize that you haven't steered enough, you reversed, but you didn't check behind in your blind spot. And the other thing you're doing wrong is you're just going forward and back into the same position. You're not steering the opposite way to get the car at an angle to be able to get going. So just steering right, coming back, going forward, coming back, and the car's just going into the same position every time, forward and back. You need to steer to the left on the way back. Otherwise the car will come back into the same position as before.
Just wait there. Let that car go. When the car's gone, then you can do what you can do. Stay to the left. Otherwise the car won't get in that angle that you can go.
So if you keep doing the same mistake, the examiner will eventually tell you how to do it correctly. Now here I asked you to find a place to pull up on the left. So you see here the curb is dropped down up to here. Then the curb is raised from here to up to there. You can pull up anywhere here where the curb is raised up, especially opposite this wall. But when you went and pulled up, you went behind this silver color car over there where the curb is dropped down. So you went and eventually blocked the driveway. So this is a minor fault. So again, it's the pulling up exercise. So I've asked you to pull up, and you can see the curb is dropped from here to there, and then the raised curb is from there to there. So you want to pull up where the raised curb is. You want to pull up there. So you went forward, and then I think you went too far forward and too far away from the curb. So you reversed back. When you reversed back, you ended up pulling up opposite a driveway, blocking the driveway. So here you start to come back. It might not be visible in the camera.
See what you think is safe.
Yeah, can you see the drop curb is there? So where you are now is all drop curb. So you shouldn't be here, you should be here where the raised curb is. So this is a minor fault. Now you made another minor fault at this roundabout. We're turning right, you're giving a right signal when you've come in all good. Then when you left the roundabout, you didn't signal. So you'll hear the sound now, there's no tick-tock sound. There's no sound of the signal, tick-tock, tick-tock. You haven't given the signal. Okay, so in my opinion, this was a minor fault there. In another situation, it could be serious if it just confused somebody else. Now, this was one of the junctions where I gave you a minor fault for hesitation. So there's nothing coming from either direction, and we could see quite clearly, and it just wasn't going. So as you can see, there's nothing. There's no cars driving past this way, that way. Nothing coming, and just waiting a very long time. So it was a minor fault. We got to the end of this road and there was nothing coming from the right, and you've kind of stopped here. So again, this can warrant a minor fault for hesitating. Okay, now down this road, in the middle of the road, there are these metal studs that light up when a light reflects on it in the night. You were driving over this, and that means you're not in your lane. You're a little bit over the line into the other lane. So you got a minor fault for lane discipline. Okay, now here you got another minor fault again for lane discipline. The metal studs here, you're just driving over, the car's going bam, 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 bam. You're driving over it. When your lane is completely clear to drive in your lane, you're driving over these metal studs. So you've got another minor fault there for lane discipline. Now at this roundabout, we turned right, fourth exit. Now I didn't give you a minor fault for this. So the first exit is there. The next one is the second exit there. Okay, so we're taking fourth exit. So this is the third exit. We take the next one, and can you see a position? You're so far to the right, now you have to kind of check the mirror and come back to the left to come out here. Now the problem is, if there is somebody there already trying to exit before you, you're going to have a hard time coming out of the roundabout. So try and position yourself more in the middle of the lane, because there's only one lane in this roundabout, and then you can leave more easily. Now your second serious fault, major fault, came here. The road is 40 and it's changed to 30. There's a sign there, there's a sign on the floor there, and there's a sign there. Now, approaching these three signs, that you haven't slowed your speed down, you're still driving at 40 miles an hour once you pass the sign. So you've got to slow down before you get to the sign, and by the time you get past this sign on the floor, you must be at 30 miles an hour. Now when you pass the sign, you were still at 40 miles an hour, and then eventually I had to say it for you to slow down, because the examiner would not allow you to break the speed limit. So just wait until we pass the sign and see how long before I said you have to slow down. So they will not let you go that much past the sign before they tell you to slow down. And then after that, again, your speed went from 30 to about 37. So the road was going downhill and you were going well over 30 miles an hour.
That's 30 miles an hour? Yeah.
So if you go over the speed limit, the examiner will usually tell you to reduce your speed, because otherwise you're breaking the law. Okay, now here I ask you, in your own time, can you show me how to clean the back window with the water and the wiper?
In your own time, can you show me how you clean your back window with the water and the wiper, please?
And while you were trying to figure that out, you really slowed down, and then the cars behind all had to slow down. So you got a minor fault here as well for appropriate speed. Okay. So make sure you're quite fluent with the controls of the car from watching the previous videos. Then we came to this mini roundabout. We're turning right. Can you see there's nobody there? But you're kind of like staying very slow. I didn't put a minor fault for this one, but it's not a good look. You know, it all adds up in the examiner's mind, and eventually, if you keep doing it over and over, they might eventually have enough and give you a serious fault. So on this roundabout, you did a lot better, because you can see there's nothing coming from the right there. You haven't stopped. You just nicely carried on. That's how you should do it. Okay, so this is a good one. And then this was your third fault in hesitating. So you're turning right into this side road, and there's nobody coming from ahead, no cars, and you just stop there. So that was the final fault that got you a serious fault for hesitating.